Some may remember growing up to WJLB 1400 AM in Detroit, broadcasting from the David Broderick Towers, downtown Detroit, with DJs like Jay Butler, Donnie the Love Bug Simpson.
That's Carl Douglas, and everybody was kung fu fighting. A JLB at 1010 with Donnie the Love Bug Simpson. Let's slow it
Claude
down.
Young, the Big Soul Rocker, Jay Butler, and Martha Jean the Queen.
Lonely today.
But as time went on, in order to stay competitive with the sound of FM radio, WJLB would have to change. In 1980, they would become FM 98, WJLB. But just because you made a transition from AM to FM doesn't automatically make you a winner. The competition only got harder with FM competitors. WGPR 107.5.
This is Marvelous Marv. Give me a call at 298-6477.
And 102.7 WLBS. Booth Broadcasting needed something different. They needed a change, something that would set them apart. So what would they do? They would hire an organizational specialist from General Motors. Make sense? Not at all. But why would Ralph and John Booth hire someone with no previous radio broadcast experience to handle such a demanding job in such a tricky business? But it turns out they were a lot smarter than what people thought. In 1982, they would hire Verna Green as general manager. As Aretha Franklin's #1 hit was playing on the radio in 1982, Jump to It, Verna Green would jump right into making moves and turning things around for FM 98 WJLB.
Girl, I got to go.
Well, my goal, as put to me by the president of the company, was to bring the station up to being a top 5 station in the market. For me to get psyched up to do that, I had to visualize the station as being the #1 station in the market. Being top 5 wasn't enough.
She knew right away that the programming needed improvement, so she hired an expert, James Alexander.
Verna was one of the many general managers that I had, was one that gave the people on the team the responsibility of bringing that vision forth. Attributes of vision, team building, and entrusting the responsibility in all of us to bring the vision forth.
James and Verna would go to work in building a team. They would hire a talented young man out of Cleveland, Ohio, John Mason, who would create Mason and Company in the morning on FM 98 WJLB.
Hello, Detroit. You've won my heart.
This is Mason on FM 98 WJLB. Get up and get it started.
WJLB would continue to build its staff with their personalities like Captain Chris McClendon, Larry Doc Elliott, Johnny Smooth Edwards, and in bringing on the arch rival, Electrifying Mojo.
Welcome to the Midnight Funk Association. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of members all over the metro.
1984, WJLB continues to climb in the ratings, while the #1 movie is Prince's Purple Rain. But right down the dial on 93 FM, an arch rival would rise. This would become a classic battle of who was the real radio star. But what really separated WJLB from the competition would be a slogan. What they came up with to combat the competition would be considered fresh.
They were able, DRQ was able to state its position in a much more positive way than we were, and it really bothered me. So the challenge I put to the program director was to come up with what we do as opposed to what we don't do. To tell the audience positively what we are. So he thought back on a slogan that he had used when he was at a Houston station. And it was Strong Songs. So we started using that on air.
WJLB would create dynamic TV spots with some of the strongest bodybuilders they could find. Marcy Brogan from Brogan & Partners Advertising Agency talks about some of the details it took to make these commercials.
The director told us we had to oil his body. Now, Verna, being the considerate client that you are, the helpful client that you are, you helped us oil him down. So that's one of the many things I remember about you and many of the things I treasure.
WJLB FM 98, pumping out strong songs. WJLB FM 98, working up strong songs. WJLB FM 98, Detroit's strongest songs.
Now, is that strong enough for you?
Not only did WJLB become strong in programming with music, air personalities, promotions, but it would also have one of the strongest sales teams in the nation, headed by General Sales Manager Shell Lesner.
For me, it was a great honor to be part of this incredible team and experience the love and passion-driven effort that our team exhibited daily. Verna was not just my boss, but like a sister who took great interest in the betterment of us all.
Mid-80s WDRQ would finally throw in the towel as the crosstown foe would be defeated by a strong arm in radio. And WJLB FM 98 strong songs would continue to rise to the top. WJLB would also prove to be strong in the community with events like Sisters Moving Up, Coats for Kids, Sister Strut, Family Fun Day, and more. WJLB would also continue its strong programming under the direction of PDs like Steve Hackwood and Michael Saunders. Also, Booth Broadcasting would merge with Secret Communications as WMXD 92.3 FM would become the sister station under the direction of Verna Green. And PDs for the mix were Monica Starr, Janet G., and Skip Dillard. Mini shocks like Bushman, Gerald McBride, the Turntable Sisters, Janet G. and Frankie Darcell, Randy Miles, Kyle Lamont, Reggie Reg, Billy T., and many more with Gracie Airways on these legendary stations under her direction. We are all honored to be a part of a radio empire she helped to establish and build. If there were ever a Detroit Radio Hall of Fame, Verna Green would be at the top of the list.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid.
Thank you for making history in Detroit radio. Your legacy will never be forgotten.